today's episode, Rukmiṇī Maya is going to speak and and counter answer all the statements which are made by Krishna. So she will defeat all Krishna's argument one by one, very expertly, very expertly. So we'll read. So I will request each one of you to read two paragraphs, and then we'll discuss some important points uh, which are given by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so first of all, Dhruv Prabhu can read two paragraphs. After Dhruv Prabhu, Aditya Prabhu can read, and then Manish Prabhu can read.
Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible. Go ahead.
Just actually, okay. My dear Lord, you have stated that marriage between persons equal status of social standing, beauty, riches, and strength, influence, and renunciation can be suitable match, but this status of life can only be possible by your grace. You are the supreme perfectional source of all opulences. Whatever opulent status of life one may have is all desired from you. As described in Vedanta Sutra, Janma Dasya Yataha. You are the supreme source from which everything emanates, the reservoir of all pleasure. Therefore, persons who are endowed with knowledge desire to only achieve you and nothing else. To achieve your favor, they give up everything, even the transcendental realization of Brahma. You are the supreme entity. You are, you are the supreme ultimate goal of life. You are reservoir of all interest of the living entities. Those who are actually well motivated desire only for you, and for this reason they gave up everything to attain success. They therefore deserve to be associated with you. In the society of the servitors and served in Krishna consciousness, one is not subjected to pain and pleasure of material society, which function according to sex attraction. Therefore, every man or woman should seek to be an associate in your society of servitor and served. You are the supreme personality of Godhead. No one can excel you, nor can anyone come up to an equal level with you. The perfect social system is that in which you remain in the center, being served as supreme, and all others engage as your servitors. In such a perfectly constructed society, everyone can remain eternally happy and blissful.
Yeah, read one more.
My lord, you have stated that only the beggar praise your glories, and that is also perfectly correct. But who are those beggars? Those beggars are all exalted devotees, liberated personalities, and those in the renounced order of life. They are all great souls and devotees who have no other business than to glorify you. Such great souls forgive even the worst offender. These so-called beggars execute their spiritual advancement of life, tolerating all kind of tribulations in the material world. My dear husband, do not think that out of my inexperience I accepted you as my husband. Actually, I followed all these great souls. I followed the path of. Bro, just scroll. I followed the path of this great beggar and decided to surrender my life unto your lotus feet. You have said that you are penniless, and that is correct. You distribute yourself completely to these great souls and devotees. Knowing this fact perfectly well, I rejected even such a great personality like Lord Brahma and King Indra. My lord, the great time factor acts under your direction only. The time factor is so great and powerful that within.
Yes, thank you. So Rukmiṇī Maya is telling that Krishna is the property of beggars. So who are the beggars? The beggars are those who don't have material wealth, but they have spiritual wealth. They are rich with spiritual wealth. So we have example of Sridhar Kolavichi. Sridhar Kolavichi was a beggar. He was a pauper in the street. But Mahaprabhu, he went and drank before drinking from his washing pot. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality of Godhead, When he was small boy, Nimai, every day he would go in Mayapur in the house of Sridhar Kolavichi and bargain for 2 hours uh, for the price of banana leaves and banana cups, right? Why? Because he had the wealth of love of Godhead. So here the beggars, so-called beggars, are those who are beggars from a material point of view, but they are very wealthy in spiritual advancement. So Krishna is property of such people. And if you see in general, Krishna's devotees, they are not very opulent. They don't have so much wealth. It may be Sudama, it may be Vibhishan. We have so many examples. Narsim Mehta in Rajasthan. Materially, they are not very opulent. In Maharashtra, we have Tukaram Maharaj, right? Namdev Maharaj, Eknath Maharaj. So many examples we can give. Or in North, if you go towards northern part of India, there is Tulsidas Goswami. He was very poor materially. But these people, Supreme Personality of Godhead, used to come and play with them, talk with them. Why? Because they had the wealth of love of Godhead. I was hearing recently in Akola, we have Shegao, right? Have you heard about this saint गजानन महाराज? अभी उसको भी बहुत लोग उनके बारे में उल्टा सीधा बोलते हैं कि वो चिल्लम फूकते थे and he used to take intoxication. That is fine, but he also had darshan of Vithala. So one devotee was telling this pastime that one time this Gajanan Maharaj could not go to Pandharpur for Ekadashi. So Lord Vitthal came from Pandharpur to Shegao to take darshan of his devotee. And he said, why you did not come to meet me for this Ekadashi? Can you imagine? So he is a beggar in the street. And abhi dekho aap, if you go to Shegao, every day they are feeding thousands of people free prasadam, free annakshetra every day. We may say that, Array, but he was smoking ganja, this and that. We don't know why he was doing what he was doing. But you see now, so much annakshetras and so much charity is being done because of him in Maharashtra, in those places. And he was a devotee. He was a devotee of Lord Vithala. So, why I'm telling this thing? Externally, he we may see somebody is beggar, but Krishna knows who is having the love of Godhead in his heart. And Krishna is the property of such people. So that's what Rukmiṇī is telling, that I don't have so much wealth, but still I chose you. Why? Because you are the property of such devotees. But his devotees are calling him Parabrahma and Satchidananda. Yes, they are calling out of ignorance. अभी क्या होता है देखो, वल्लभाचार्य है, sometimes people worship वल्लभाचार्य as भगवान महाप्रभु. होता है ऐसा, it happens. It happens. But we need to understand that Vallabhacharya also had darshan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was in Vatsalya Ras. He had darshan of Balakrishna. That's why in Gujarat they have temple of Balakrishna. So it is coming from Vallabhacharya. उनके फॉलोअर्स क्या समझते हैं दैट इज सेकेंडरी थिंग, बट दे हैड दर्शन ऑफ सुप्रीम पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ गॉड हेड. और उनके ऊपर में देखो कितना बड़ा संप्रदाय है. एंड होल द्वारका मंदिर इन गुजरात is run by the devotees of Vallabhacharya. So I'm just giving some examples. These are some controversial examples. But why I'm telling this? Because we need to understand that Krishna doesn't see our caste, creed, background, which language we speak, which community we belong, if we are having love and devotion for him. Krishna doesn't see whether we are male, female, Prabhuji, Mataji, whether we are temple president, whether we are chaprasi. Krishna sees only one thing. Bhaktya mam abhijaniya. Do I have the element of love and devotion? That's what attracts Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Some Matajis are trying to join this meeting, so uh, we we will only add Prabhujis. So I have not added Jyotsna Mataji. Okay, so I removed her. So So why I told these examples, because here it is mentioned, I followed the path of these great beggars and decided to surrender my life unto your lotus feet. Because Krishna is the property of the penniless. उसके बारे में लिखा है. Krishna gives himself fully to Sudama and all these devotees who have nothing of this world, but they have everything of spiritual world, which is Krishna Prem, Golok Vrindavan. Okay, so I will just complete this paragraph. The time factor is so great and powerful that within moments it can effect devastation anywhere within the creation. Considering all these factors, I thought Jarasandha, Shishupal, and similar other princes who wanted to marry me to be no more important than ordinary insects. Yes, another thing, time factor. Time factor can make rag into riches and vice versa. But we need to understand that with time, the glory of the karmis and majesty people go down. But for devotees, with time, their glory increases. Their glory becomes more and more enhanced. So that's what happened for a devotee. उनका जो ग्लोरिफिकेशन है वो समय के साथ साथ बढ़ता जाता है. Their glory become more and more prominent in the world. और बाकी जितने भी राजा महाराजा है, जरासंध, शिशुपाल and others, their glory goes down with the effect of time. Yes. Okay. Dhruv Prabhu is done. So next, Aditya Prabhu can read two paragraphs, and then Manish Prabhu can read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandavat Pranam. Am I audible?
Dandavat Pranams. Yes, you are audible. Please continue.
My dear, all-powerful son of Vasudeva, your statement that you have taken shelter within the water of ocean, being afraid of all the great princess is quite suitable, but my experience with you contradicts this. I have actually seen that you kidnapped me forcibly in the presence of all these princes at the time of my marriage ceremony, simply by giving a jerk to the string of your bow. You very easily drove the others away and kindly gave me shelter at your lotus feet. I still remember vividly that you kidnapped me in the same way as a lion forcibly takes his share of haunted booty, driving away all other small animals within the twinkling of an eye. My dear lotus-eyed lord, I cannot understand My dear lotus-eyed lord, I cannot understand your statement that women and other persons who have taken shelter under your lotus feet pass their days only in bereavement. From the history of the world, we can see that princes like Anga, Prathu, Bharat, Yayati, and Gai were all great emperors of the world, and there were no competitors to their exalted positions. But in order to achieve the favor of your lotus feet, they renounce their exalted positions and enter into the forest to practice penances and austerities. When they voluntarily abandoned your lotus feet as all in all, does it mean that they were in lamentation or bereavement?
Thank you. So here some examples are given. Maharaj Anga, इनका तो famous story है. He had a son whose name was Vena, and he was a very very naughty child. He was very demonic because his mother, matlab Anga's wife, she had connection with Yamraj. So Yamraj means the god of death. So that's how he got that samskara from the mother. And so this Anga Maharaj, he was so fed up with his child. He decided to leave everything and go to forest. And then he achieved the supreme personality of Godhead. So similarly, पृथु महाराज के बारे में आता है. फोर्थ कैंटो आप लोग पढ़ लीजिएगा. पृथु महाराज, he was doing yajna. After doing 99 yajnas, Indra became insecure. Indra thought this Prithu will take away my heavenly position. So Indra, what he did, he came as a sadhu, he came as a saint, and he stole the horse. और फिर जब पृथु महाराज उनको मारने वाले थे, तो ब्रह्मा जी आ गए और ब्रह्मा जी बोले, पृथु रुक जाओ, इंद्र को मत मारो और आप यज्ञ बंद कर दीजिए. एंड पृथु विदाउट डूइंग एनी आर्ग्यूमेंट, विदाउट गिविंग एनी जस्टिफिकेशन, अरे इतना लाखों करोड़ों रुपए खर्चा किया, 99 यज्ञ करने में 100 करने वाला हूँ और आप बोल रहे हो मत करो। तुरंत उन्होंने क्या किया, यज्ञ बंद कर दिया। तो ये देख के भगवान विष्णु प्रसन्न हो गए। भगवान विष्णु आए और उन्होंने पृथ्वी महाराज को बहुत आशीर्वाद दिया और इंद्र की ओर देखा भी नहीं। सो दैट्स हाउ द डिवोटीज आर। वैसे भरत का एग्जाम्पल है, याति महाराज का एग्जाम्पल है। सो ऑल दिस पर्सनैलिटीज, दे गेव अप देयर फॉल्स प्राइड, they gave up their ulterior motives, ego, and surrendered to the authority. And that's how they achieved the Supreme Lord in their life. So just by taking shelter under the lotus feet of the authorities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can get all success in life. We can learn so much from these personalities. Bhagavatam में दिया हुआ है. We can discuss someday about each of them. So the main point is, what Rukmini Maya is telling here, one who has received the favor of your lotus feet, my dear Lord, he can never be in lamentation and bereavement. उसके जीवन में कभी भी शोक, संताप, दुख, कष्ट नहीं आ सकता. Why? Because he has accepted your lotus feet as the ultimate shelter of life. So this we need to understand, and we should always remember this. Okay, we'll go ahead because many more devotees have joined. So all devotees should get chance to read at least one paragraph. Okay, thank you. Manish Prabhu can read next paragraph, and after that, Prashant Prabhu can read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam to you. Am I audible?
Dandavat Pranam. Yes, you are audible.
My dear Lord, you have advised me that I can still select another from the princely order and divorce myself of your relationship, companionship. But, my dear Lord, it is perfectly well known to me that you are the reservoir of all good qualities. Great saintly persons like Narad Muni are always engaged simply in glorifying your transcendental characteristics. If someone simply takes shelter of such a saintly person, he immediately becomes freed from all material contamination, and by coming in direct contact with your service, the goddess of fortune agrees to bestow all her blessings under the circumstances. What woman who has once heard of your glories from authoritative sources and somehow or other has tasted the nectarian flavor of your lotus feet can be foolish enough to agree to marry someone of this material world who is always afraid of death, disease, old age, and rebirth. I have therefore accepted your lotus feet not without consideration but after mature and deliberate this decision. My dear Lord, you are the master of the three worlds. You can fulfill all the desires of all your devotees in this world and the next because you are the supreme soul of everyone. I have therefore selected you as my husband, considering you. The Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oh. To be the only fit personality, you may throw me in any species of life according to the reaction of my fruitive activities, and I haven't the least concern for this. My opinion, my only ambition is that I may always remain fast to your lotus feet because you can deliver your devotees from the illusionary material existence and are always prepared to distribute yourself to your devotees.
Thank
My dear
you.
Lord, you
Thank you. So here, in this paragraph, Rukmini Maya is telling that Krishna, you have asked me to marry some other prince and divorce from yourself. So she is giving all the justification why any sane lady or sane devotee will never leave Krishna's lotus feet. And she is giving examples like Narad Muni and everyone. Narada, Asita Devala Vyasa. Arjuna also says in Bhagavad Gita. They all sanctify that, or they give the authority that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he is the source of all good fortune in one's life. And he is the only person who can give liberation from the repeated cycle of birth and death. That's why one name of Krishna is Mukti Pradata. So he gives Mukti, Mukunda, one who gives Mukti from one who gives liberation from the repeated cycle of birth and death. No other person can give liberation except Krishna. Krishna is the only one who can deliver us from this material world. So she is telling that after doing deliberate consideration only, I have accepted you as my husband, and I cannot give up you in any condition of life, whether you throw me in the life of any species in 8.4 million species of life, and I want to serve you birth after birth, life after life, and why so she's telling because you can deliver your devotees from the illusionary material existence and you're always prepared to distribute yourself to your devotees. So these are the very very pure heartfelt offering of prayers of Rukmini Maya. That's why it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam and Prabhupada has taken from there and given in the book Krishna for all of us. Okay, we have some more time left. Yes, so I think we can cover a few more paragraphs. It's a long chapter, but we'll cover uh, some 3-4 paragraphs and we'll stop for today. Okay, so Prashant Prabhu can read next paragraph. After Prashant Prabhu, Dhiresh Prabhu can be ready.
From where,
My dear Lord,
my dear, my dear Lord, you have advised me to select one of the princes, such as Shishupal, Jarasandh, or Dantavakra. But what is their position in this world? They are always engaged in hard labor to maintain their household life, just like the bulls working hard day and night with the oil pressing machine. They are compared to asses, breasts of burden. They are always dishonored like the dog, and they are miserly like the cat. They have sold themselves like slaves to their wives. Any unfortunate woman who has never heard of your glories may accept such a man as her husband, but a woman who has learned about you that you are praised not only in this world but in the halls of the great demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva will not accept anyone beside yourself as her husband. A man within this material world is just a dead body. In fact, superficially, the living entity is covered by this body, which is nothing but a bag of skin, decorated with beards and mustaches, hairs on the body, nails on the fingers, and hairs on the head. Within this decorated bag, there are bunches of muscles, bundles of bones, and pools of blood, always mixed up with stool, urine, mucus, bile, and polluted air, and enjoyed by different kinds of insects and germs. A foolish woman accepts such a dead body as her husband and, in sheer misunderstanding, loves him as her dear companion. This is only possible because such a woman has never tasted the ever blissful flavor of your lotus tree.
okay, thank you. Um, Dheeraj Prabhu can read next paragraph, and after Dheeraj Prabhu, Sahil Prabhu can read last paragraph for today.
Yes, Prabhu. So, my dear lotus eyed husband, you are self satisfied. You do not care whether or not I am beautiful or qualified. You are not at all concerned about it. Therefore, your non attachment for me is not at all astonishing. It is quite natural. You cannot be attached to any woman, however exalted her position and beauty. Whether you are attached to me or not, may my devotion and attention be always engaged at your lotus feet. The material mode of passion is also your creation. So when you passionately glance upon me, I accept it as the greatest boon of my life. I am ambitious only for such auspicious moments.
Yes. Last paragraph. Um, Sahil Prabhu can read, and then we'll stop for today.
Sure, Prabhuji. After hearing Rukmini's statement and her clarification of her anger of love toward him, Krishna addressed Rukmini as follows: My dear chaste wife, my dear princess, I was expecting such an explanation from you, and for this purpose only I spoke all those joking words so that you might be cheated of the real point of view. Now my purpose has been served. The wonderful explanation that you have given to each and every word of mine is completely factual and approved by me. O most beautiful Rukmini, you are my dearmost wife. I am greatly pleased to understand how much love you have for me. Please take it for granted that no matter what ambition and desire you might have, and no matter what you might expect from me, I am always at your service. And it is a fact also that my devotees, my dearmost friends and servitors, are always free from material contamination, even though they are not inclined to ask for from me such liberation. My devotees never desire anything from me except to be engaged in my service, and yet, because they are completely dependent upon me, even if they are found to ask something from me that is not material, such ambitions and desires, instead of becoming the cause of material bondage, become the source of liberation from this material world.
Yes. So Krishna is giving the definition of devotee. So we have to check how many pointers we have in our uh, character, in our qualities. Are we free from material contamination, calm, krodh, lobh, lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion? Are we inclined for any kind of liberation, sarupya, samipya, sarshti, ekatvam, or desire to merge into Brahman? Or are we desiring anything except service for Krishna? So this is what is a devotee. Please understand, devotee doesn't mean somebody coming in morning program with dhoti kurta, tilak, kantimala, bead bag. वो भी devotee है. But actually, from Krishna's point of view, devotee means these qualities which are mentioned here. Krishna says one who is engaged in my service without any desire for anything else is my devotee. And when he is completely dependent on me, even if they are found to ask something from me, the वो material नहीं माना जाता है. That is not material. Prabhupada asking Krishna to build Juhu temple for Ras Bihari for devotees is not material. Prabhupada going to America and praying, let there be a temple here. It's not material. Such ambitions and desires, instead of becoming the cause of bondage, becomes a source of liberation from this material world. Can you imagine? So this is the level of a devotee, what Krishna expects from all of us. And if we are fulfilling this criteria, definitely we are going back to Godhead in this very life. Otherwise, we have to wait until we come to this expectation which is set by Krishna. And this is possible only by the mercy of Guru Kripa. By the mercy of Guru and Hari Guru Vaishnavas, we can reach this level where we will be eligible to enter into Golok Vrindavan. Otherwise, it's not possible. So that's why I just made this point highlighted so that we understand what is the criteria for becoming Krishna's devotee. It's not very easy. Only by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas one can reach this platform. What is told by Krishna here to all of us.